Resolution on the ceasefire and truce agreement between Cambodia and Thailand. We, member parties of the centrist Democrat International, CDI-IDC, in our ongoing relentless efforts to uphold the value of centrist democracy and essence of human dignity that encompass a broad range of social, cultural, and political foundations rooted in the principles of unity in diversity, solidarity, inclusivity, and justice as the core strengths of our international cooperation, hereby express our strong support for peaceful settlement of disputes between and among nations, states, or groups, restoration of peace and stability, reconciliation, and international harmony. While we were deeply concerned over the rising conflicts and divisions, we take a moment to congratulate the Kingdom of Cambodia and the Kingdom of Thailand on the peace deal reached on 26 October 2025, held during the 47th ASEAN Summit and related meetings held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We are profoundly thankful of President Donald J. Trump for his steadfast leadership in brokering and spearheading the peace talks and agreements, facilitated by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim as the chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, 2025, and with the unwavering support of the People's Republic of China and the international community in the peace process. We also highly valued the active participation of the international community, whose calls for peace and supports for ASEAN's ceasefire mediation efforts since the conflict flared up on July 24 to 28, 2025 prevented further escalation and saved countless lives on both sides of the conflict. We also expressed our sincere gratitude to the international community for providing humanitarian aid to displaced people immediately after the conflict ended. We emphasized our strong and full support for the ceasefire agreement and the peace truce, and asked that both sides honor these agreements in good faith and implement them in accordance with the terms and purposes of the agreements. On this note, we urged the removal of unexploded ordnance, UXO, especially the cluster munitions and other war remnants, to restore the normalcy to the social, cultural, and economic life of the people living in the affected areas and to protect their safety and security on solid humanitarian ground. We called on the immediate and unconditional release of the 18 captured Cambodian soldiers, illegally captured by Thai Army on 29 July 2025, after the ceasefire agreement reached on 28 July 2025. We firmly believed that it is our duty to put an end to all kinds of human atrocities and the abuse of the international law, including the international humanitarian law by armed forces of the conflicting parties. We noted that the ceasefire and peace agreements remained fragile, as evidenced by the recently brief deadly assault by Thai soldiers on the unarmed civilians living in Banteay Meanjay province of Cambodia on the 12th of November 2025, leading to 1 Cambodian civilian dead and 3 injured. Therefore, we vehemently condemned such a coward act of unprovoked attack, the use and the threat of use of force, and its coordinated provocation. In tandem, we earnestly called on the Thai government and the Thai Army to fully respect with highest level of sincerity, integrity, and decency the active peace agreements, the charters of ASEAN, and of the United Nations in solving the border conflicts peacefully. We urgently called on the international community to help restore the UNESCO World Heritage Sites and other cultural heritage damaged during the armed clashes by heavy artillery shelling and aerial bombings. In addition, we call for thorough investigation into the alleged destruction of these cultural assets of humanity, and also for their full protection. Inasmuch as the international rule of law, humanism, and justice are concerned. We called on the leadership of CDI-IDC to galvanize collective voice and action by our global political parties and partners in advancing world peace, security, stability, progress, and prosperity without compromising the core values and principles of the Charter of the United Nations and all prevailing international treaties and conventions. Executive Committee, Sao Paulo, 22nd of November 2025.